Hi and welcome everyone, this is the Hobo Prepper and I am Friar Tuck. Thank you for joining me today. Man, it just will not stop raining. Okay, so I want to take a moment, I want to talk to you about the life of a hobo. Because, you know, part of the channel name is the Hobo Prepper. And what is a hobo? A hobo is somebody who is homeless or has been dispossessed or has lost work. And due to economic reasons, they travel, and part of their travels is looking for different types of work. The traditional hobos during the Great Depression would ride the rails because that was the best form of transportation back then. Cars really weren't as big as they are today. Not very many people actually own cars back then. Not like they do today. And you know, they would be on the outskirts of cities. And they would form little camps, and these camps, you know, they would have drinking and gambling and all kinds of other things because, I mean, they had to figure out ways to be able to entertain themselves. A great movie that actually shows a hobo camp is if you ever watch Fried Green Tomatoes. That is, I believe it was Depression era, and yeah, there was a small little area or a small little group of hobos that they went and they hung out with that were just travelers along the road. But what they did is they traveled around looking for work because there was no work where they were from. They needed to eat, they needed to support themselves, they needed to do all of those types of things. And so that's why I say that what it is that I'm doing here at Boondocks here in Lyerly, Georgia, is something that fits well within my realm because, you know, as I've been traveling, I have, you know, when I stop through cities, I see and kind of like, you know, put my ear down and see if there's anybody that seems like they're looking for someone to come to work for them. I always make mention, hey, if you know anybody that's got a few days labor or got some work for me, I would be more than happy to work for them. One of the big problems that I always run into, though, and the reason why I haven't found any temp work along the way, except for in St. Augustine when I first started out on bike, is that the average business is looking for somebody that wants to come to work for them long term. Somebody that wants to come spend some time with them. They don't want somebody that only wants to spend 2, 3, 4 days with them, make some money, and then be on the road. Because, you know, these businesses, especially small businesses, they're trying to survive, they're trying to thrive, and they're trying to, you know, fill up their labor pool so that they can grow their business and expand, so that they can go through the natural evolution of small businesses, which is to become a medium and then a large size business, and maybe even one day become a large corporation. I mean, it's very rare for a company to do something like that, but, you know, that is the goal of every small business owner. I know when I owned my business, that's kind of what I did. So, you know, with a lot of you guys, I'm seeing in the comments that you're a little frustrated with me. You're like, you're getting off trail. You need to get back on trail. We like you on trail and stuff like that. And being on trail, I will be back on trail. I promise you. I will not stay here that long. There's a few reasons why I won't stay here that long. You know, with what's going on with the owner, there's so much drama surrounding him that it's burning me out, and I'm kind of holding on to the thing that, you know, it's a small business. I want to see it be successful. I want it to thrive. But on the same sense, you know, he's sabotaging himself. They're both sabotaging the business, and because of some of the dumb stuff that they do, and, you know, they're fighting and bickering in front of customers, in front of employees, which, you know, is going to drive their customer base out. They're, you know, and me as an employee, I don't want to see it, but I also get an opportunity to grow my resume, because as I travel, if I want to be able to pick up short-term work, you know, like let's say as a dishwasher or a line cook or something like that, this is giving me the necessary experience that I need. So when I go through, because in Gainesville, I had an opportunity, but I had no experience as a line cook, and they really didn't need a dishwasher. They needed a line cook, you know, or even a prep cook. And they needed somebody that had the knowledge to be able to come in and get them prepped and go and do the things that they needed to do so that they could serve their food. And because I didn't have that experience, I didn't necessarily have the opportunities that I was looking for. Otherwise, I would have had some work when I was in Gainesville. And so I'm sticking here I'm trying to stick here because I'm telling you again, I'm getting burned out between that and then, you know, the one of the owners has kind of been pissed off a lot of people to where every time he steps off site and I'm stuck here running this place by myself, there's always somebody that comes by and they look both ways, make sure nobody can hear them. They're like, you know, and they'll tell me something about it with their personal experience with this person, how they had a bad experience with this person. I'm not gonna air the dirty laundry, at least not right now, because there's no need to. You know, when I owned my business, I know that there were people that would be like, oh yeah, this guy's an asshole. Oh, he doesn't know he's this, he's that. And the truth was, none of that was true. I always paid my employees. I never shorted them. As a matter of fact, even when I thought that they should be charged for some of the screw ups that they did, I never charged them for it because I didn't want that reputation to be, you know, somebody that didn't pay. I didn't want that reputation of being a bad employer because, you know, if you're a small business and you get that reputation, it is very, very hard to find labor. And especially in a small town, you're going to burn out your labor market really quick and you're not going to survive as a small business. And, you know, that's kind of what's happening here. But some of this is a case of mistaken identity. Somebody is posting somebody else's criminal record that has a similar name to his. And I mean, it's a heinous criminal record. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it just because, it's disgusting. But, you know, if you go and you look up, you look at it, the middle names are different. Okay, versus his name versus their name. And, you know, yeah, he did something, you know, he bounced a check when he was younger. So what? We all make mistakes. But nothing as heinous as, you know, being a Chester or you know, taking someone's life or being a mule and things like that. He didn't do it. Okay, so that much, you know, I have the confidence in it, but there is somebody within the small community, whether it is because they're a disgruntled employee or a disgruntled customer or his competition just trying to push him out. They're slandering his name and taking his name and tying it to somebody else's name, and that's kind of hurting him. But then also the way that he conducts himself kind of gives them every reason to believe it instead of believing when he says no, that's not that. But anyways, you know, as far as being a hobo and what the hobo life is about, you know, this is mutually beneficial. If I have the experience to work with small business owners to help them build their digital market and their digital presence, that gives me, you know, as the economy crashes, as small businesses try and start up and succeed, that gives me a little bit of a niche market. Plus, you know, with the hospitality industry and, you know, not a lot of people wanting to go do food and stuff like that because it doesn't pay well. I mean, it really does not pay well unless you're like a waitress or a waiter where you can make tips. It doesn't really pay well. Okay. So, you know, I want to make sure that I improve my skill set because a lot of my skill set is unskilled labor or, you know, well, some of it's unskilled labor. But, you know, owning a business kind of gives you some skills, but it's harder to market yourself as, well, yeah, I owned a business, so yeah, I can do your back office stuff, I can do your management, I can do your training, I can do this, I can figure out how you're running your system, I can help you run more efficient, things like that. It's going to be much harder for me to be able to market myself versus like, okay, yeah, I can do line cook, I can do serving, I can do prep work. Not only do I have my janitorial skills, but my business ownership skills. And the thing is the more that I add to my resume and the more skills that I have to be able to offer as I go through these towns and I want something that is temporary or something that's not going to be very long term. And plus being able to have a letter of recommendation by the time I leave, you know, that is going to make my life a little bit easier as I go along because, you know, yes, I just finally got the YouTube channel monetized, but it's going to be like 90 days, 60 days before I get my first check. It's going to be what, maybe $50 if I'm lucky. You know, it's going to take a minute before I'm able to get up to where I'm making, you know, $500 or $1,000 to where I don't really need to rely on a secondary income, you know, and I have relied on you guys quite a bit over the last several months to, you know, put money in my tip jar and to help me out that way. But, you know, I can't, you know, as these banks are crashing and as money gets tighter, as inflation goes up, as it becomes harder and harder to live, you know, me being able to lean on you guys and to ask for that help, it's much harder. And so, you know, I need to be self-sufficient. I need to be able to support myself. And, you know, this also gives me an opportunity to blend into a community. It gives me an opportunity to network. So if I decide I want to come back here, or, you know, I'm talking with other business owners that are, you know, need their digital presence taken care of. So like a horse farm that's around here, you know, things like that. I have the ability to network while I'm doing these things for these guys, okay? So this is temporary so that I can gain the skill set and get the accreditations that I need so that I can, you know, market myself and be able to support myself as I go through. And this is something that if you're prepping for SHTF and you're planning on possibly having to bug out long term, or, you know, whatever it may be, I mean, being an accountant is only going to get you so far. Being an IT guy is only going to get you so far. But if you have a plethora of like low skilled jobs, it will be a lot easier for you not only to blend in and to be able to be that gray man, but you'll also have the opportunity to have more work that's out there, because there's going to be more unskilled labor as it goes along. So anyways, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. I hope that this helps understand my situation, and I will see you in the next video. You know how to help the channel: like, subscribe, share, become a member of my Patreon, leave me a thanks, you know, whatever it is that you feel that this channel deserves. At least, you know, leave me a like and a comment, and become a subscriber. If you haven't hit the bell notification, make sure you hit the bell notification. But I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.